That was your fastest lap of the session.
All right, let's take a look at that. So this is second lap. The first lap here is just like way too slippery. I was just not able to get the grip that I thought I needed to get for this lap, so gonna have to make it a second. So driving up, doing your run up here, try to set up wide, but then get your nose pointed really early. Because when you get your nose pointed too late here, the corner is a little bit shorter than you'd expect it to be because this isn't a 1.5 miles. So get your car turned down the hill almost from the get-go so that you can ride the partial throttle all the way down the track, at least pointed all the way down the track. I don't think we're going to get all the way there, but you can see that we're getting on full throttle when we get to about the second lane, and then straighten out the wheel and just drive straight back up to the wall, straighten out that exit, and that's how you carry the most momentum to the start-finish line. All right. Now going into turn 1, what we're going to do, I like the early entry here. I was playing around with whether I liked wide arcing this or early entrying. This car gets enough rotation under trail brake and under throttle to where I think the early entry is actually faster for hot lap. I could be wrong because usually making that wider apex you can carry more speed, but I was able to get to the yellow line really early. Sorry, I'll do that again. So I come off the wall and then just trail brake it like 20% down to the yellow line. And then once I get to the yellow line, I picked up the gas to half and just held it right smack dab on the yellow line. And then when you do that, you find that you can raise the throttle quite a bit, even in the middle of the corner, and still stick to the yellow line. I found some grip down there. And you just raise it up and up and up smoothly. And then once you see the corner finishing, so my kind of telltale is the purple. Once you see purple, you know the corner is about to end so that you can open up the steering wheel and just aim for the purple pretty much. And of course, don't hit the wall, but if you're aiming for the purple, you're probably going to be able to turn off the wall because it's going to be pretty manageable. So you see I rode half throttle until I saw purple. I was even going up a little bit before then, but once I saw purple, I started unloading the wheel. And you just stay off of that guy. All right. 3 and 4. Don't really have a breaking point for you here. Mess around with it, look at my marks, but what I do is I let off the throttle smoothly, very smoothly, and then pick up that trail brake, drive trail brake it all the way down to the yellow once again, and then half throttle. Same idea as 1 and 2, except this corner is going to open up a little bit earlier, so I open up my throttle and wheel a little bit earlier. It was a little bit... I had to pedal just a little bit. I think I picked up the throttle slightly too early. But for the most part, I was able to maintain my momentum. You can see that you don't really want to slide up off the yellow before you go full throttle. That means I probably got to half throttle just slightly too early. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It kept me off the apron, which was good, but I wasn't sticking to the yellow like I was in 1 and 2, which isn't as big of a deal in 3 and 4 because of the wider exit, but it cost me having to do one little pedal, which isn't that bad in the grand scheme of things, but that's probably 100th or 2 right there. But other than that, you just want to get down to the yellow. Just yellow line has grip, so you just stick yourself right by it. Hold that half throttle until you see a point where you think you can open up the wheel in full throttle, and then you just aim yourself at that point. And it should be pretty manageable to handle. It's going to be a little loose, but that just means that you're getting rotation on exit from your throttle, which is good. All right, now let's go take a look at long run. All right, now let's talk about long run. So, in my opinion, the bottom and maybe one groove up is going to be key. Personally, with dynamic track, I think that these D-shaped ovals do move around a little bit, but never really to the wall, especially in Nashville, because the straightaways aren't really long enough to support that type of line. So what I like to do is on the short runs, I'll run shallow entry into the corners, use my brake to rotate the car along the yellow line, and use my throttle to maintain that rotation that I'm getting. So you notice I'm going to brake early, get down to the yellow early, transfer to the yellow, and the car should not change direction at all when I make that transition from brake to throttle. But what's going to happen on the later run is that's going to slick off, and your right front's going to be a little bit too hot to do that. So then that's when we do these bigger arcs into the corner, later apexes, get the car to rotate around the bottom, and then drive it back up. The late apexes work really well in long run at most D-shaped ovals with this new dynamic track, but that's not something that you really need to be doing at the beginning because that causes your car to get to that cliff earlier. But once you fall off the cliff, the late apex becomes really good. So here again, straighten the entrance out, use the brake to stick to the bottom, rotate with the right front or with the right rear. Ooh, you see how we got a little loose there? Pop quiz, what does that mean if I get loose coming off the corner? That means that I had too much wheel input as I was picking up my throttle. So if you ever get loose coming off one of these corners, that means that you either need to be careful on your wheel or on your throttle input, or you need to start unturning the wheel quicker, unloading the wheel. And if both of those things will lead you to hitting the wall, then you just have to wait longer. You can see I'm going full throttle, but now I'm unloading my wheel as I do that, and it's pretty easy. Early entrance, stick it to the yellow line with the brake, transition to the throttle, get the rotation with the throttle, then full throttle as we unload the wheel and straight off the corner. Pretty simple. And then maybe towards the end of the run or middle of the run, the second line here is going to work really good. So like, you see where that dark line is. Personally, I think that if this works, then the late apex is just going to be better because you use a lot of right front tire there finishing the corner with that straight middle line. Whereas if you use your brake a little bit more to get the car pointed at the yellow, then your car does less work coming up the corner and you build up more of a run, so it equalizes in lap time. That's my opinion. And then I'll show you, top just doesn't work here. See how long you have to wait to even get back on the throttle? It's like you're picking up the throttle at the same exact time as the other lines. It just doesn't work. All right, let's go take a look at the tires. See which tire is getting the brunt of the wear. Yeah, so the right rear for now, so that's good. Nashville likes burning right front, so just try to keep that car shallow entry, keep it straight, but still getting a little bit of rotation from the loose condition, but don't slide your tires while you do it. All right, thank you all for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all on the track.